The upper trap smash is a good corrective exercise to add into the beginning of your mobility work if you're starting to have upper trap tightness, if you're starting to get any sort of pinching or impinging type feelings when you lift your arm overhead. So by cleaning up that upper trap, that first rib, you can generally free up a lot more overhead range of motion. So before you just start this, just go ahead, lift your arm up, just try to get a gauge of your overhead shoulder flexion and how tight you are in those ranges. And then after you do this, you can go ahead, test, retest, and see what the resulting mobility change from that is. So we can use a baseball. Ideally you have a lacrosse ball, which doesn't have all the ridges that are gonna have an uneven distribution of force. But for now, we just have a baseball with us today. This is actually a 3-ounce ball. And we're gonna take a voodoo band, wrap the ball to a barbell, and we're gonna be able to get a lot more targeted with where we're gonna apply the force by using the ball instead of just the barbell. If you don't have a ball, you can just use the barbell in the rack. But again, it's not gonna be nearly as concentrated on the spots that you want. So wrapping the ball on the barbell, tuck the voodoo band underneath. That's the setup. Okay, from here we're gonna go ahead, squat under the bar, get a wide stance, and we're trying to target the tissue just lateral to the neck. So we're exploring that tissue right there, and we're gonna press up into the ball until we feel that tissue light up. Okay, we're going after a 4, 5, 6 out of 10 on the pain scale. We're not trying to kill ourselves with 10 out of 10, and we're also not trying to be so gentle that we're not gonna accomplish anything. So press up until it feels tender, until you get a little bit of pain. From here, we're gonna go 2 things. First, we're gonna raise the arm overhead into shoulder flexion and just work through that range of motion. Okay, I'm keeping that upward force on the ball the entire time. Okay, the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna start laterally tilting, laterally flexing our neck the opposite direction, start to lengthen that tissue. So this is kind of an active release technique where we're first putting pressure on those tight tissues, and then we're actively lengthening it through a range of motion. Okay, so we're gonna explore all through this area until we find those tender spots, and we're gonna prioritize those tender spots, spending about 3, 4, 5 minutes on each side. Tricep is the same idea. So for the tricep barbell smash, we're gonna set the barbell up in the rack, and again, we're just gonna be applying force to the tense piece of tissue and take it through a lengthening and shortening range of motion, and using that to, over time, lighten up the adhesions and the restrictions within that particular muscle. So start up high on the tricep and just kind of sink some of your body weight into that upper tricep, into the upper attachment. Okay, just that alone is going to light a lot of you guys up. From there, we're just going through flexion extension, trying to relax as much as we can. Okay, you can go through internal external rotation a little bit too. And as soon as that gets a little bit more comfortable, we're just going to work our way down the tricep. Okay, you can use the off arm to help relax a little bit more. And again, you can focus on more medial tricep or more lateral tricep head, depending on where you're particularly tight or sore. So just working your way down the length of the tricep, give it 3, 4, 5 minutes per side. The next smash technique that we have is the barbell bicep smash. So similar to the pec smash, we're basically going to be relaxing the tissue and using the weight of the barbell to apply the force. So to start, we're just going to use the collar. We're not going to need the lacrosse ball for this one, and the actual the handle of the barbell is going to be a little bit too concentrated of a force for most of you guys to tolerate. So we're going to use the collar of the barbell. You can start with just the bar or work up to 5, 10 pounds on this one. But we're going to start just relaxing with the collar high up on the bicep, and then as that starts to hurt a little bit less and loosen up, roll it down to kind of the next range of the tissue, and just kind of focus your time and energy on the tighter spots in that muscle.
So, you know, I don't really have any issues in that range, but super tender up here and super tender as I get down towards the distal bicep. So, you know, just spend 3 to 5 minutes on your throwing arm or on both sides, focusing on those tighter spots.
Okay, next thing we're gonna talk about is the pec barbell smash. If you have access to a partner, then pec manual release work is gonna be a better option. If you don't, and it's just something you can do on your own every single day, this is the best option besides that. So we're gonna go ahead, take a lacrosse ball or a baseball and voodoo band it towards the upper end of the barbell. And we're gonna start with a 5-pound weight on the end. As our tissues adapt to this stress and start to loosen up, you can start to add a little bit more weight to the bar. Once you can do about 20 pounds of weight on the bar without extreme pain, and it's starting to relax, that's the point where you can kind of back off doing this movement every day. But we're gonna go ahead, place that barbell right in that pec minor, right in the corner of that upper chest. And we're gonna use the opposite arm to stop it from teetering back and forth and falling. So I'm just using enough force with this opposite arm to keep it directly in line with where I want the force. Okay, we're gonna basically explore until we find those tight spots. So I'm pretty tight right about here. Okay, from that position, we're gonna take the elbow out to about 90 degrees and go through external rotations. Okay, as you get towards greater positions of external rotation, you're gonna uncover and expose a lot more, you're gonna expose tighter areas of tissue that you're not just gonna get in this position right here. So right as I get about there, it's gonna start to lighten me up. Okay, so just work around through this 2, 3, 4 minutes. As it starts to loosen up, as the pain starts to diminish a little bit, then we can start going into overhead pressing as well. Okay, so we're really just kind of working through those tight spots in the range. So I'm a little bit tight right through here, not so bad up there. So I'd focus a little bit more attention at this part of the range. Okay, 2, 3, 4 minutes on each side. Placing the priority on your throwing side, obviously. And obviously when you have a partner, being able to do the partner manual pec work as the alternative.